Welcome, everybody. I'm MC Toon, your host for tonight. I've got a debate, and it's always Tuesday night. I will be talking with Flatzoid. He thinks, well, we'll find out what he thinks about gravity. But he has agreed to talk about the magnitude of the downward acceleration, very specifically. Is he gonna stick to that or what? But anyway, I'm gonna connect to him, and we'll see how he is. So just a second here. All right, Flatzoid, whenever you're ready. Are you gonna turn on your camera? Well, I mean, somebody must think it's pretty, right? Somewhere, somebody might. There you go. All right. That's great. All right. Well, to start though, I'm gonna share my screen just so you see. This is the monthly live chat we get, the one-on-one, because I'm a member of your Patreon. So there is the membership benefits at the $9 level. Here you get to be a moderator on Discord and YouTube. You get access to one-on-one discussions, as today, and allowed to give input on future projects. Now, I have not taken advantage yet of the input on future projects, but I think you made a mistake when you were trying to give me moderator access, and instead you muted me on accident.
But yeah, that's correct. I'll have to reinstate you and probably give you a wrench.
Yes. I don't care to do any moderation, but I just wanted to point out that I think you made a mistake there. So
yeah. No, that is part of the package. But thank you. I do appreciate you being a Patreon.
Yeah. All right. Now, today we're talking about the magnitude of the about 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration. Specifically the magnitude. So looking forward to that.
I don't really know what to expect, because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say about that, because it is a globe claim though.
A globe claim that there is a downward 9.8 meters per second squared acceleration? That's an observation of reality, right? That there's no arguing
in a vacuum.
There is. Yeah, in a vacuum, when you control for confounding variables, you get closer and closer to 9.8. You can just in your own backyard, you can drop something and use your smartphones today have 120 frames per second, so you can get pretty accurate drop times and drop them from higher and higher, and you will find. Unless it's a balloon or a feather, you're going to find that it drops at 9.8 meters per second squared about. So it's not a globe claim; it's an observation in reality. Right? Things accelerate down at a certain rate.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees with that.
Yeah. So then the question is, what's the cause of that downward acceleration? So I'm anxious. I've been asking flat earthers for years. For the cause of it, and specifically the magnitude, and never heard any. And so I'm glad that you can be the one to share the cause of the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration. So
I didn't make a claim about the cause.
You don't have. There's no cause.
There has to be a cause, but I didn't make a claim about the cause.
But we do
have a cause claim, though, don't we?
You do? Yeah, sir. You have lots of claims.
No. There is a there is a claim for a cause for that
Yeah. I mean,
acceleration.
we have
that?
an explanation.
What is that claim?
And the problem is,
What is that
Flatzoid,
claim?
you don't have any, so you've already lost.
What is that
you
claim?
just wave the white flag there, Flatzoid, of you don't know why things fall down.
No,
and
no,
you kind of
that's not
failed.
the point. That's not the point. The
Sad.
point is you're reversing the burden onto me because you can't validate what your claim is.
So you already gave up the burden. You said you don't have an explanation.
No,
and
I don't
when
need
we're
to
trying
because I didn't claim.
Yeah, I know exactly. You failed already, Flatzoid. You don't know why
No.
things fall down on flat Earth.
Okay,
you have
okay, I'm
no
gonna say it
explanation
again.
for it. This is a naturally observed phenomenon that everybody can validate themselves, and you say you have no clue.
Great.
That's too
No,
bad.
I never said I have no clue. I said that the claim is from your side. I didn't make a claim. So it's not my burden because the claim comes from your side that it's a gravity,
it's certainly
correct?
a burden. It's certainly a burden because if you can't explain it, then you don't even enter the arena. That's like coming to a horse race without a horse or a jockey.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this again. This is the same thing I had at STST last night. Reversing the burden.
Yeah,
of
I get it. You don't want to ever provide evidence for flat Earth. And I get it. It's hard because there is no evidence, and you're just admitting that there's no evidence. I get that, Flatzoid. You're in a difficult position. You've put yourself in the position of claiming the Earth is flat with no evidence to support your claim at all. And you've just admitted that, and I appreciate that.
Again, I never made a claim, so how can I?
Well, yeah, I know. And that is a complete failure of flat Earth.
Can I finish my statement?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you want me? You're contradicting yourself. You're telling me I'm supposed to support a claim I never made. That's not how it works. You first have to make a claim before you can support it.
Absolutely.
So who's the one with the claim?
Yeah, I am, and you have the white flag of failure. That's what you have. Are you French?
No.
Are you French? Do you have a French background?
No.
I know there's some French in South Africa, right? Historically, I'm not certain. I think there is.
I'm more Dutch.
I know, but is okay. So no French in your background.
There's a bit of French in my mom's side.
Okay, all right.
Little.
That explains it, maybe.
Wow, stereotyping. Anyway,
definitely. We do that in America for the French. We love doing it, poking at them.
Cool. Right. Good. So are you going to now back up your claim that what causes that?
Tell you, you've already admitted defeat, so we're kind of done.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
we haven't even got started yet.
Well, you can't get started. You didn't bring a horse to this race, Flatzoid.
All you've done is come and made a claim on my behalf.
Yeah, you agreed.
We agreed to come talk about magnitude because of gravity, correct?
There it is. Up on the screen on my live chat is, again, the... people can see... Yeah, we can see that you agreed specifically to talk about the magnitude. So, I mean, if you don't have... if you don't have an explanation... Then
I have an explanation. I'm not the one making the claim.
But you just said you have an explanation.
Yes, I do. But I'm not making a claim.
Excellent. Well, then go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't need to.
I'll put you. Tell you what.
I will. That made the claim.
I'll put you full screen so that you can explain the magnitude of the downward acceleration. Just a second.
Need to.
Let me get.
I don't require to because you're the one that made the claim that there's a reason why it's falling.
I'll put you full screen so you can explain the magnitude of the down.
Can you please show me making a claim, Mctoon?
You said you have an explanation and you agreed to this topic. So, I mean, if you...
I agreed because
it's a little disingenuous. If you say you're going to come here, we're going to talk about it. You don't have it.
We are talking about it because it's your claim.
waving that white flag there. I get it. You don't have any evidence for flat Earth and you're proud of it. I mean, I wouldn't be proud of it.
You lost already because you made a claim and you're trying to reverse it onto me.
All right, here you go.
So I would like you to show where I made a claim about it.
Hold on. You're gonna so if you can't provide the explanation, just like keep diverting from it. Your full screen, people can see so that you can present the explanation for the downward acceleration, specifically being 9.8 meters per second squared for flat Earth. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're gonna keep quiet now, so I can talk.
Your full screen.
I can give my statement. Okay, great. So you asked me the topic, let's talk about the 9.8 meters per second squared magnitude. That was the discussion topic. I agreed. Guess who made the claim for that?
You
Who
did.
made the claim for that?
You said you have an
Did
explanation.
I? Show me.
Just
Where?
a couple
Show me where I
seconds
said
ago,
that.
you said you have an explanation.
I said I do, but I didn't make a claim about it.
Got it. So let's see it. Chop,
I
chop.
don't have to give it. I didn't make a claim. Do you know what a claim is?
Yeah, you claimed that you have an explanation.
No, I said.
Oh, so you don't have an
claim.
explanation. Hold on. So to be clear, that you don't have an explanation.
So this is the only tactics you have.
Do you have an explanation? I'm just wondering, do you have an explanation for the downward acceleration being 9.8 meters per second squared? Yes or no?
So, this is what you pay Patreon for, so you can come and be rude.
No, I'm just.
Your claim.
I'm agreeing. No, dude, you made the claim. You made the claim too. So either you have an explanation.
I never made any claim. I'm still waiting.
Okay, so you do not claim to have a downward an explanation. I want to be clear. You do not claim to have an explanation.
My claim is that you are reversing the burden.
No, sorry. The topic is the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration. And you have said both you do not claim that you have an explanation and that you do claim you have an explanation.
No,
could you just clarify for the...
I said we observe it in reality. I've never made a claim about it. But I do know what it could be the cause.
So
the difference is
you do or don't know the cause.
No. I did not make a claim about it.
You just did. But you just did. Didn't. You literally just did. You just said you can explain it.
My actual words. I am not making a claim about it.
Okay. So you can't explain it. So you have no explanation for it.
So I stayed up this late. Yeah. I stayed up this late so you can make a shit show. Is that what you're saying?
No, you stayed up this late so that I can expose that you don't have an explanation for the downward acceleration. And I do appreciate that.
What's the cause of downward acceleration, McToon?
That's what I'm asking you. You don't know. You have nothing. You come to the topic with zero evidence for your claim, for your position, for downward acceleration, and you're proud of it. That's great. It's good for you to be proud of your inability to provide any evidence for your position. Should we in future get a moderator?
Should we in future get a moderator because you act like a child?
Certainly. A moderator would probably say, hey, sack up, provide the explanation that you said you have. That's what a good moderator would do.
I can get in a moderator now, and I can guarantee you the moderator is going to say you have the burden and you trying to reverse it onto me because I've never made a claim.
You've never made the claim, so you don't have an explanation.
Again, I never made a claim.
Yeah, you don't have an explanation. Got it.
So do you have a claim?
PhD Tony says if you don't have a model for an observed phenomenon, then you are not doing science. So that's fine. If you don't have any science to support your position, I get it. It's a hard spot for you to be in, and you're waving the white flag again. Your French side coming in.
Did I claim science?
No, obviously not. You have no science to back your position.
Wow. So in other words, you making a red herring, yeah? Because I never claimed science. Well done.
No, I'm happy to acknowledge that you don't have any science behind your position. Perfect.
Sorry,
I'm perfectly fine with that, Flatzoid.
So, okay, let's do it this way. So you claiming you do know the cause for the acceleration?
I'm sorry. This is your chance. You're full screen right now. Everybody can see for you to present.
So you don't have
explanation.
You don't have you don't have a cause.
Dude, this is the topic you agreed to.
Oh, so you don't have a course for acceleration, McToon?
Sorry.
Is this why you're trying to push it onto me?
Well, I know you don't have any. You've admitted you have no science to back your position. Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your inability to back your position. You don't have a claim.
Yeah. So you don't have a claim either. So you don't know the cause.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice reversal there. But I'd be glad to compare our two explanations should you have an explanation. You just don't have an explanation. And you have no science. You admitted you have no science.
Should I show everybody the chats where you literally asked me and I said, yeah, let's talk about it.
I've had it on my screen.
And show me where I made a claim, please.
Well, I didn't. You show me where I made the claim in that, huh? Go ahead, bring it up. Share it to everybody. You can share your screen and it'll go right up here.
Everybody can see. Let's see. Friday seems okay. What's the topic? Explaining the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude. So gravity then. Okay, your choice. Hope you will do better than FTFE did this. Specifically
magnitude. Yeah. Okay. So
sorry.
you agreed to that.
Sorry. Gravity. I said so. Gravity. Do I push gravity,
I said specifically magnitude.
Oh.
When you asked gravity,
Is
then I said
magnitude
specifically magnitude. That's my
of
answer.
gravity? Well done.
Specifically magnitude.
Who's
So
got the
do you have
gravity,
you have nothing then?
of gravity? Of gravity?
Do you have an explanation for the magnitude?
Sorry, it says here on screen. So gravity then, you did not say, no, not gravity. You said specifically magnitude. Magnitude is part of gravity, is it not?
Magnitude is part of everything. Every measurement has magnitude.
So guess what? Guess what? I just showed everybody that you are reversing the burden of proof onto me.
Specifically magnitude. You have nothing.
What? Sorry.
Wave that white flag.
Sorry, are you showing lines to everybody?
Now, why is it that you are so scared? Why is it that you're so scared?
I literally have it on screen.
Why are you so scared to support your position, Flatzoid?
Did you tell?
Why are you so scared? Why do you run from the opportunity to present evidence for flat Earth? Here we are. I have 350 people watching, and you have an opportunity to share your flat Earth backing evidence, and you are refusing to. I understand why. You know why. You know why. You know why.
So everybody in chat can see this word here. So gravity then.
Specifically magnitude. I didn't respond to yes.
Show me where.
I said
show me where,
specifically magnitude.
Show me where. Can I talk? Can I talk for more than 1 second, McToon? I know this is hard for you. I know it's hard because you'd be showing a liar straight on screen now. Does this mean we're talking about gravity and the magnitude, specifically the magnitude of gravity?
We're talking about the magnitude of the downward acceleration.
Yes. Great. From
the downward acceleration.
Sorry. Did you correct me and say not gravity? Yeah.
Good semantics game there.
No.
I understand what this is your inability to back your position. I get it. This is
you. This is you claiming a magnitude acceleration thanks to gravity.
So what are we learning from this? We are learning, Eric Erpelding, that Flatzoid doesn't have any evidence to back his position. That's what we're learning, Eric.
We are learning that.
The Shonuff 888 says no wonder Flatzoid started blocking people from his channel. He's being exposed.
For showing a person.
Mr. EJ Wheeler says MC2 never wrote Gravity, Flatzoid. You did, you Muppet. Dragon Ball says listening to Flatzoid is hard for all of us. I feel brain cells committing suicide. I mean, this isn't looking good for you, Flatzoid. This is basically you admitting that you have nothing. I don't hear you. Did you mute yourself to me?
Yes, I'm muted. I'm trying to figure out how to mute you because you're an obnoxious punk who's a self-deceiving idiot.
But Flatzoid, you have admitted that you can't support your position.
You won't let me speak more than 2 seconds. You were literally shown on screen now that the argument was about the magnitude, specifically the magnitude of gravity.
No, specifically the magnitude of the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration. Very clear. Which
is based on gravity, correct? That was the claim.
No, there is a 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration. The question is for both of us to provide an explanation, and then we can compare the two explanations. Yeah. Now you have admitted that you do not have the ability to do that.
You first then. You first then, because
okay. Tell you what. I will gladly tell you what. I will do it, and then you do it. Do you agree to that?
Yes, but you first.
Okay. And you will agree specifically to produce the explanation for the downward 9.8 meters per second squared magnitude.
If you can, yeah.
Absolutely. I certainly can. All right.
Great.
All right. Let me...
I just got you caught in the hook, by the way.
It's cute when you say that, Flatzy. Let's see. I'm going to get it so that people can see you. But, all right. I will share to you the there it is. All right. You got that? You seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I need to get you on screen. They want to see your mini view here. So give me a second. This is going to be good. There it is. All right, mini. There it is. All right, now people can see you. They can see me. They can see the presentation.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Okay, so
gravity is
here
the
we
claim.
have yes, definitely
nice.
the
What's
downward
gravity?
acceleration. The downward acceleration on the Earth is due to gravity. That's my claim. The law of gravitational attraction. Now you're a fan of laws, of natural laws. This is the law of gravitational attraction. Is F equals G times m1 times m2 over r squared. Right. That's empirically
How did you get
confirmed.
the radius?
That's empirically confirmed. Transcontinental triangulation in the American arc of the parallel outputs the radius. So there's that right there.
Oh, sorry,
So-
the transcontinental, so horizontal baselines. Well done, flat Earth. Cool. Okay, go on.
That's not horizontal baseline. I don't think you
Yes,
quite
it is.
understand what it's doing there.
The transcontinental baselines is 4,000 kilometers of showing horizontal baselines.
No, it's not.
Andrew
gosh.
Johnson on presenting this.
Yeah, Andrew
and
Johnston showed how it uses how it does things that you
Horizontal
don't quite
baselines.
understand. But that's how I got the radius. That's one of the ways. There's other ways, but that's one of them. Okay.
Sorry, use horizontal baselines to get a radius of a sphere.
Hey, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter
It
how
does
you
matter
imagine it was
because-
done. We've got the radius. Okay.
Sorry.
So-
You
so
don't have
now-
a radius. You don't have a radius, and you don't have a force because gravity is not a force. So you already did in the water, yeah, mate.
I didn't claim that gravity was a force. It's the acceleration due to gravity.
Yeah, force due to gravity. That means F equals ma, correct?
It's the force due to gravity. I didn't say gravity
so
is a force. So don't play semantics here.
Sorry,
No.
that is force due to gravity. So
Due to
is
gravity,
the
not
force.
force of gravity. That's a difference there.
Okay, so
now I
gravity
know
causes-
maybe
so
English
gravity
isn't your
causes
first
a
language,
force.
right?
Wait. So gravity
English-
causes a force.
Is English your first language?
So gravity causes
Hold on.
a force.
Flatzoid, I want to know if I need to give you grace.
Does gravity cause
Do
a
I need
force
to
then?
give you grace because you don't understand
Maxine?
English as well as me?
Mactoon?
I just want to know.
Does gravity cause a
All right,
force?
right here. I will right here. I typed this out here. Force due to gravity. So
does
this is my
gravity
claim right
cause
here.
a
That's my claim. Flatzoid. That's my claim. If you don't
It's a
understand
simple
my
yes or
claim,
no.
that's your problem, not mine. These are the words that I chose to type. Force due to gravity. Okay.
Great. So you claiming gravity causes a force, the same as FTFE.
Yes, that is the claim right here.
Great.
Force due to
So-
gravity.
What's gravity?
Okay. Tell you what. I will give my presentation and you will stop talking. Then when I'm done with it, when I'm done with it,
making claims.
when I'm done
You're
with
making
it,
claims.
when I'm done
No.
with it, you can then
No.
present
You're
your
making
explanation
claims.
and
No,
we can
you're
we can
making
compare
claims.
them.
No,
Okay.
no, you making claims
All right,
that
fine,
is
fine.
unsubstantiated in reality. Is gravity what's gravity?
I'm going over it right now. If you
What's
just let me
gravity?
talk, but you don't want me to talk.
What's gravity?
You won't let me talk. All right. So I'll try it again. Okay. Here we have the law of gravitational attraction.
No,
F-
I asked what's gravity, not the law of gravitational acceleration.
Sorry,
What
I'm
is
giving the
gravity?
presentation and I didn't even get a sentence in and you don't want to hear it. Are you scared
I'm
to let me
asking a
finish my
question.
presentation?
What is gravity?
Are you scared to let me finish my presentation? Is that why you
I'm asking-
constantly interrupt?
Why can't you answer me? Why can't you answer the
I
question?
will
What is
answer
gravity?
you. That's the presentation I'm giving right now. The answer will be forthcoming.
No.
You need to wait.
You giving a law of gravitational acceleration that is based on your belief of gravity being a force. Gravity is not a force, so therefore
I didn't
you
claim
cannot
it was
have
a
the law of
force.
Gravitational.
I did not claim it was a
What is
force.
gravity?
Quit claiming things that I did not claim. Flatzoid.
What is F equals ma? What is F equals ma?
Force equals mass times acceleration?
And you're claiming gravity causes this acceleration.
It's the cause of the force.
So what is gravity?
I'll get to it. You need to let me get to it, though. But you won't let me get to it.
Sorry.
Why won't you let me get to it, Flatzoid?
You have on screen the cause for the acceleration. Now you saying the cause for that cause of the acceleration is gravity. So what is gravity?
All right. So I want to present this, but you don't want me to. Sounds like
running away.
No, you are running away because you constantly interrupt me.
I'm asking you a simple question. What is gravity? You showing on
screen. I'm working on
not what gravity is.
I'm working on it, but you won't let me.
Sorry. Listen, I'm asking what is gravity. You showing on screen what gravity causes.
Yeah, I'm working on it. My presentation will elucidate this question for you. All you need to do is zip your face hole so that I can present it.
Well, are you going to answer what gravity is?
That's the whole presentation. You just got to listen. All you need to do is sit back and listen. I'm presenting to you
this should be good.
This whole thing. All you need to do is let me do it, though. If you're scared, let me know that you're scared by interrupting again. All right, so we have the law of gravitational attraction. F equals G times M1 times M2 over R squared. We have the gravitational constant, which has been measured in multiple measurements. We have the mass of the Earth, which has also been measured multiple times. And you have the mass of the object on the Earth. Then we've got Newton's law there, the second law of motion, F equals ma. You put them together. I'm not going to go over the algebra for you, but you get acceleration equals, this is the acceleration due to gravity, not gravity, G times M1 over R squared. Right, now, here's the cool thing. We have those numbers that we've already determined.
Sorry, I'm waiting for gravity. You're not showing gravity.
Are you scared? Is that why you interrupted?
No. Sorry,
you interrupted again. I said if you're scared, let me know by interrupting, and you interrupted.
I first want to find out, McToon. You claiming you are presenting gravity. You didn't give gravity yet. You giving the cause of what gravity causes. So you claiming gravity causes this acceleration. I'm asking you specifically what is gravity, not what gravity causes.
Got it. Don't care about your sidetracking here, Flatzoid. I'm in the middle of a presentation. So again, if you're scared, interrupt again. Let me know. Let me know that you're scared that somebody might see on your channel the actual application of the law of gravitation, right? Let me know by interrupting again. I would love for you to just let your fans know that you're scared. Okay. But I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the first application.
Before you go
scared.
on.
Okay, you're scared.
Before you go on, can I ask again? Why are you showing what gravity causes when I'm asking what is gravity?
Okay, again, I don't care about your sidetracking. I'm explaining to you the magnitude. That was the topic. The magnitude is the topic. I'm not quite there yet because you interrupted again. You interrupted again, signaling to your people over on your live chat that you're scared to let me finish.
Are you claiming gravity causes gravity? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, then why are you telling me about the magnitude of acceleration if I ask you a specific question, what is gravity?
I don't care about your sidetrack. The topic is the specific magnitude of the downward acceleration. And that's what I'm working on, but you won't let me. So then you don't know what
gravity is. So you don't know what gravity is. Then.
No, I didn't say that either. You just won't let me because that's a separate topic. This isn't what is gravity. The topic is not what is gravity. Tell you what.
But
here is again.
You're not showing.
Here it is again. The magnitude.
So gravity then.
Explaining the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude. That's our topic. Okay?
Dude,
and I'm working on that. I'm working on that, but you are definitely not wanting me to get through it. Okay, so I'm going to try. So if you could just let me finish, give the courtesy of letting me finish my presentation.
You're not presenting what's asked for.
I don't care what you asked for in order to sidetrack. I'm specifically sticking to the topic that we agreed upon, and then you asked me, you begged me to present, and now I'm doing it, and now you're constantly interrupting. So, again, I'll put it up on screen.
Can I say my statement?
Explaining the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude. All right, what are you going to say?
Due to gravity. Okay, my statement is, you literally said now on stream, you're going to give the cause for the acceleration. which is gravity according to you. So I'm asking you, show me, explain to me, what is gravity? Don't explain the acceleration. We all know there's an acceleration. I want to know what gravity is that causes this acceleration.
Got it. Well, that's a whole different topic. We agreed to a different topic than what you're asking. You are trying to deflect to a different topic. I got it because it's a problem for you. But I'm going to finish my presentation and then it will be your turn. Okay. So here we have in Kauai, Hawaii. The coordinates right there, 22 degrees, north latitude, and negative 159.7 west latitude. Elevation of 1,130 meters. It's on a mountain. The WGS 84 distance from the center of the Earth, right there, 6,376 kilometers. The tangential speed. This is important. The tangential speed is 1,500 kilometers per hour. This is on the Earth. That's rotating. We need to include that in the magnitude because it modifies the magnitude.
Another claim. Well done.
The gravitational field formula. There is, and that's what this is called, the gravitational field formula.
So Narnia, congratulations. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see if it matches reality. If it matches reality, that's good for me.
I'm sorry.
So, all right, I'm not done yet. All right, reviewing A equals G times M over R squared. Now, hold on, just a second.
Everything you're doing here is based on your belief.
Yeah, I'm not done yet, Flatzoid. Just wait, Flat. Just wait. Just wait. Be an adult. Be an adult. Pretend for a minute that you're an adult and let me finish without interrupting. Okay?
But you're
just pretend. Claims... Just pretend that you're an adult for a minute and don't interrupt. Just pretend for a minute and don't interrupt.
You're making claims.
Just pretend for a minute and don't interrupt. Pretend that you're an adult. Pretend, Flatzoid, just pretend. When you are giving your presentation, I will let you go beginning to end, and I will not say a word until you say you're done. I will give you that courtesy. I give my word that I will give you that courtesy. I see that you cannot even pretend for a couple minutes to be an adult and let me finish without interrupting. Sorry. I will continue. Right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these out. Okay? I can't hear you talk, but here's the cool thing. Everybody else can hear you trying to interrupt me. And I can't hear you. So you will interrupt only to show that you don't have anything and that you're scared. Okay. There's only about 2-3 minutes left. And then it's your turn. Okay. So we've got the elevation. Oh, sorry. I scrolled down there. We got the elevation, 1,100 meters. We've got the formula that I covered earlier. Applying that formula, we get a predicted, due to gravity, acceleration of 9.804 meters per second squared.
Gravity the cause.
Down. Then we take the centrifugal acceleration formula. A equals V squared over R. The predicted centrifugal force is upward, 0.029 meters per second squared. We subtract that from the downward acceleration, we get 9.7749 meters per second squared is the predicted downward acceleration due to gravity and centrifugal force together. Now the measurement, I can give you the actual link to where this measurement was done, was 9.78788 meters per second squared, a difference of only 0.01296 meters per second squared. Very, very close, less than 0.1% off of the actual measured value. Okay, your turn. I will stop sharing and you can give your presentation.
No, sorry. You can go back to your screen because
go ahead.
I have a few.
After you're done with your presentation, then we can compare.
Sorry. Sorry. I said you have to prove your claim first. Remember? You didn't prove gravity. You made a whole bunch of claims.
None of that matters. Okay, so go ahead.
I thought you were going to keep quiet so I can talk.
Oh, absolutely. I will. Hold on. I will in fact mute myself.
I'm still talking.
I will mute myself. Great. There you go.
Great.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you made a claim. He's taking it. Okay. Yeah. If you take it out, you can't hear me. Anyway, I understand this is hard for you. You made a claim of a radius by using horizontal datums for the measurement. You made a claim of universal gravitation, which is just you begging the question that there's a force aka you're calling it gravity, which you don't even know what gravity is. You're explaining now the effect of gravity causing gravity, which you said that's not what you claim, which you literally just did. You made more claims upon claims, and none of those claims will be able to back up. So I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna hold you to task. What is gravity? Why are you acquiring a force where you claim gravity is not a force? How do you get a radius based on a horizontal datum measurement? And how can you just assert acceleration is due to something you don't know what it is? There we go. So I'm gonna say again, everybody that's listening to McToon's stream right now, this is what you guys got when he's backed into a corner because he can't back up his claims. Plays Rubik's cubes. He thinks you know what the thing is. He thinks this is going to piss me off and I'm going to get triggered and leave because that's all he has. The guy doesn't know. The guy doesn't know I got patience of a saint, dude. I can sit you all night. He's a child. McToon is literally showing to be a child, yeah, guys. So McToon, I'm asking you again. What is gravity, mate? What is gravity? What's gravity? Ooh. What you do? Okay, guys. You know, doing a Rubik's cube, a 7-year-old can do it. So he's actually just trying. He's trying to make up for, yeah. It's just a pattern. It's just a pattern, dude. You do the same pattern until you get it. Yes, anybody can solve a Rubik's cube, debatable. It's a pattern you follow. Now, I'm asking again, what is gravity?
Okay, are you done with your presentation for the downward acceleration that you agreed to give?
What is gravity, McToon?
Sorry, this was your chance to present.
What is gravity, McToon?
Have you finished your presentation?
We haven't got to my presentation yet because
okay. I will stop talking and then you can do your presentation. Sorry. Go ahead.
Is this what it's going to be? Okay. Well, you know what, guys? This is the point we get to the anti-flat earthers, that the guy can't even have a normal just normal adult conversation with grown-ups. This guy's got problems. You know what I'm gonna do, good? You know what I'm gonna do, guys. Look what I'm gonna do. Yeah, look what I'm gonna do.
He's got nothing.
Watch what I'm gonna do, guys. What I'm gonna do. I'm sharing screen.
So this is his chance to present evidence for the downward acceleration for flat Earth. And he's got nothing.
You know what? Everybody watching live now or watching this afterwards, McToon can't tell me what is gravity.
Flatzoid can't even type what is. Yep. This is the best he has to explain the downward acceleration.
Look how pissed I was getting.
So this is his presentation for the cause of the downward acceleration.
The thing is, he's not making me look dumb. He's making himself look like a dishonest child.
This is great.
Hey, David Man, I can see you. Hey, Rachie, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah. So this is
okay. Are you done with your presentation yet? So far, your presentation is nothing.
Can you see on my screen?
Yeah, I can. But that's not an explanation for the downward acceleration. It sounds like.
What does it say?
It sounds like you have nothing. Hey, Rachie, this is why you have such questions, right?
What does it say?
He can't present anything. He agreed to present the downward acceleration for his model, and he doesn't have anything. When I muted myself and said nothing for multiple minutes, he presented exactly nothing.
Sorry,
because
sorry, you
that's
made
what he
claims.
has to explain the downward acceleration.
Why are you over talking me? You remember you made claims, McToon.
Rachie, if you'd like to come on my show right now, and we could have a chat, because obviously Flatzoid
why are you talking over me?
is admitting
and you're
that
running.
he can't do
are you
anything.
Running? Are you running away from me? You see.
So
this is what happens because
sorry, Rachie, send me a
back
message.
up your claims. Well done.
Yeah,
so this whole stream should be McToon can't back up a claim. Well done, McToon.
All right. Still waiting.
What's gravity?
This is your chance
So
to present. This is your chance to present.
What's gravity?
This is your chance to present
What's
your explanation
gravity?
for the downward acceleration, and you have completely avoided the topic.
What's gravity?
Cray
What's
to the
gravity?
Z says he's obviously grifting.
What's
Just
gravity?
ignore these people. Your
What
time is better
gravity?
spent
What's gravity?
educating people
What
who actually
gravity?
want to learn.
What is gravity? What is gravity?
Yeah.
What is gravity? What is gravity? Must I say it 1,000
yeah.
times?
Flatzoid is censoring his
What is
chat by just
gravity?
making it subs only, so people can't comment on his chat. Such dishonesty. Yeah.
Or you can just subscribe and chat. Or you can just subscribe.
Flatzoid refuses to back up his claim. Absolutely. That's not the topic, Flatzoid, says MoonJ20. So sounds like sounds like this is what Flat Earth has brought itself to. Not being able to even provide a presentation. Yes, you are a coward that you can't back up your claims. You claimed that you have an explanation. You even agreed to present your explanation for the downward acceleration, but you haven't. You've refused to do that so far.
You know what? This is the. You know what? I thought it was bad with STC last night, but this has taken the cake. This is the most disingenuous, childish thing I've ever seen.
All right. It is very disingenuous and childish, Flatzoid.
Oh, so you can hear me.
Tell me what is curious. It's curious why you won't give the presentation you committed to give.
You haven't backed up your claim, so we can move on to my presentation. That was, remember, I asked you specific words. Are you going to back up your claims? Have you backed up your claims yet? No, you haven't. You didn't even present what you claimed to present. So what is
I absolutely did. I started with the law of gravitational attraction.
No, you said you're going to give me the cause for the
acceleration. Started with, specifically the magnitude. Specifically the magnitude.
Sorry. Is gravity the cause for the acceleration?
All right. So this is your chance. Go ahead.
Gravity,
give the presentation.
Is gravity
give your presentation.
You said you're going to present the cause for the acceleration. Is gravity the cause for the acceleration, McToon?
Go ahead. I'm waiting for you to give your this is your opportunity to give the presentation. If you have, please inform everybody that you do not have an explanation for the downward acceleration by refusing to do so.
Sorry. You just lied straight on stream because before your quote unquote presentation, you said you're going to present evidence for a cause of the acceleration, which you're claiming is gravity.
Hey, Flatzoid, why do your mods keep blocking everybody? Why do you have to have such an echo chamber over there, Flatzoid?
You know what? These tactics, these childish tactics you're doing is not going to get me triggered and leave.
Come on, Flatzoid. Why do you have to? Why are you so scared of the truth that you have to block people?
I'm gonna rename the stream McToon, the biggest shit show ever. How's that?
Why are you so scared?
I'm not the one that shit. I'm the one asking you what's going on. You are refusing to answer me. You're running.
There's a popular quote, a phrase. Truth doesn't mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. Why are you blocking people over on your channel so much, Flatzoid?
Trolls get blocked. So anyway,
you're scared of being challenged, and that tells everybody. A lie does not like being challenged, and you don't like being challenged. That's why you block people.
Sorry. Trolls are not welcome on my channel.
Yeah, because I get it. You declare everybody that challenges you to be a troll. Everybody that challenges you as a troll, therefore you block them because you don't like being challenged.
Sorry.
Right?
I'm debating you. Am I?
No, you're not. You have not presented your side yet, as you agreed to.
Sorry, McToon, quiet down. I know this is hard, But am I talking to you or am I talking to the trolls in the chat that
You're
come and say
supposed.
Flatzoid is an idiot?
Here's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be presenting your explanation, but you have
No.
refused so far.
You are supposed to accept there's a rebuttal to your idiotic presentation because your claim is it's gravity. I'm asking you to tell me what is gravity.
I went through my presentation already. It is your turn to present yourself. You're full screen. Everybody on my channel can watch you full screen present all of your stuff. So go ahead. Whenever you can.
Okay, I'm gonna say the same.
Once we finish, once you finish, then we can compare and we can see which one better explains things.
You won't tell me what to do because you made a claim and you have
I covered it already. Up. I already covered it. I already covered it.
You claim to have a
Well, tell you what, while you ponder whether or not you're going to actually keep your word, you said you would, and if you don't keep your word, I get it. It's a GLTF is what we say, right? Anyway, while you're pondering that, I'll tell you what, I will mute myself to you while you think about that, and I will just have a little chat with my side, and you can think about whether or not you're going to actually back up your position. So, all right, Jiffy Jiffwald.
Sit here all the time.
Yeah, just a second, Flat. So I'll get back to you in a minute, while you think about it. All right, he turned off his camera there. I don't think he's going to back it up. How come I'm not surprised? Jiffy Jiffwald gifted 10 memberships. Now, I just re-rendered the outro, so I'm going to have to do it again. Thank you for that. FDFE says, prepare Flatzoid to ignore the subject and argue semantics. How did you know? BG Tony says, if you don't have a model for an observed phenomenon, then you are not doing science. And that got him to admit that he doesn't have any science. I love that. Peter Collins says, Mike is on beast mode. Love it. I mean, with Flatzoid, it's super easy. All you do is ask him to back up, something for flat Earth, and then he runs. Every time you ask him to provide evidence for flat Earth, it's out the door fast as he can. He thinks that you prove flat Earth by not talking about flat Earth. Randomly Epic says, Flatzoid, gravity's been explained to you time and time again in painful detail. We need to know your explanation and why it's better. And he won't. And when he won't, that is him admitting that he has nothing. Clarence AS2 says, Flatzoid does have an explanation, but it goes to another school. See what you did there? I got a girlfriend. She goes to this other school. That's why you've never met her. That kid, right? Everybody knew that kid. You're like, hey, you got a picture of her? He pulls out of his wallet a crinkled up clipping from a magazine. And he's like, here she is. She's a model. Like, well, don't you have a picture of her with you? Oh, no, she can't. It's not allowed by her contract. Really? PhD Tony says, I can moderate if you want. No, I think Flatzoid has definitely showed his stripes there. Skidmark McGee says, run, Flatzoid, run, clown. Absolutely. Zoomer says, end of debate then. Gravity is the downward force. Jiffy Jiffald says, Flatzoid is gunning for top left win. Yes. I mean, CC stole it from him, I think. I think CC stole it. So 2024, this is Flatzoid right here. This is him winning it. Jay Watkins says, Flatzoid is unbearable. His way downward is way faster than 9.8 meters per second squared. Yep. Cretan Bull says, this is embarrassing even by flat Earth standards. Yeah, think about this. If you are so ashamed of your position that you won't present it, it tells everybody that you fail. You have nothing. If you can't back up your side, if you can't explain things, it's because it doesn't stand up under scrutiny, right? I presented my case. He wants to pull off to another topic. The magnitude of the downward acceleration. It's what we agreed on. He tried to make it about something else. We agreed on the magnitude of the downward acceleration. He specifically agreed that he would present. When it was his time, he couldn't. Dave McKeegan, PhD Tony says, gravity is the influence of space-time curvature on the motion of matter and energy. Yes, it is. But he wouldn't get that. And he would then just what he does is it's just an iteration, a constant iteration. And that's why he doesn't want to explain, because if you were to do the same to him, he can't do the constant iteration either, right? There's in science, there's always, you get to the end, that this is the edge of science. We are figuring out this part. The next part is to be figured out yet. Dave McKeegan says, force due to gravity. It's like how we have a headache due to stupidity. David Griffin says, typical deflection tactic by Flatzoid. PhD Tony says, F equals ma is an outdated Newtonian formulation. Einstein suggests it doesn't require a force. It could be a frame of reference artifact. Yeah. Within our frame of reference, we have the laws of motion. And of course, F equals ma is a simplification from F equals, change in velocity with respect to time. And velocity is a change in position with respect to time, right? There's all these layers and layers you can go to, but you have to say, well, we're not going to keep going in that infinite iteration. Randomly Epic says, I think it would move the conversation along if you let Tony moderate the debate. I mean, what's he going to do? He doesn't have anything. He's going to just constantly make demands, and what Tony could say, hey, your turn to present. I don't know. Do you think that would work? Right? Because I'd love to see him actually do his presentation, because he doesn't want to, because he knows he won't get the right number. He won't get the magnitude. Cup Lunk Steve says, please tell me after this you're going to unsubscribe from his Patreon. The joke of a human doesn't deserve your money. Well, we'll see. Icy Spin says, no longer would have a beer with Flatzoid. Annoying. Yes. You have to show the cause of the beer. Turing Test 2 says, Flats didn't ever shut up. He doesn't want his listeners to hear you. I know he doesn't. It's scared. It's fear. Icy Spin says, silence is wisdom's best reply. From Euripides. Stringers 1 says, Gary is the OG coward. With the little cow on it. Mr. E-Man says, to compensate for the lack of explanation of a downward acceleration. Thank you for that, Mr. E-Man. Stringer News 1 says, if trolls aren't welcome on Flatzoid's channel, why is Flatzoid welcome? Yeah, he defines troll as anybody that disagrees with him. That's troll. Now, on my channel, if I make a video about someone, sometimes I'll let them know before it comes out, and I will specifically go into the YouTube studio and add them as an approved commenter, so that none of their comments are held. And of course, if you've seen any of my videos, I like to pin people right to the top if they disagree with me. For the first day or so after a video comes out, I specifically look for people that disagree with me and I pin them. And sometimes if they're making claims, I will also add them to the approved commenter. So, Mr. E-Man gifted 10 memberships. Thank you for that. And so did, and Second Best Bob gifted a membership. Thank you for that. Jay Watkins says, Flatzoid keeps wanting answers, which he would never in a round spinning earth understand. Gotta lie to Flurf, of course. Sarah Jones, this is very smart. Flatzoid can't move from his memorized points. He's just like Dearth in his scripts. Shame his Flurfs will lap it up and say he won. Yep. Stringers 1, the winner by being unchallenged is Gravity. And then, let's see, Medicinal Mass Media says CIME debate in the Medicinal Mass Media channel. I don't, CIME. I saw the message you sent. CMI. I think that's CMI debate. Yeah. So Demon Stride. If I'm wrong pronouncing it, let me know. But but I've said demon stride. Has a debate channel, so very nice. Yeah, and I do like going on other channels for debates if they can moderate well. So that's a good opportunity. All right, so let's see if Flatzoid has anything. Here we go. I think he means come at me. All right, let's see if he has anything. All right, Flatzoid, are you ready to present?
Great. So what's gravity, McToon? We're still waiting.
Oh my gosh, you can't. You don't have anything.
I can tell you what Blue Marble Science says.
All right.
Blue Marble Science says it's space.
Okay.
Space and time bending. Would you agree with that?
I am not here. Remember, the topic is.
I do agree with that.
Downward.
Do you agree?
Sorry, Flatzoid, you seem to want to run from the topic.
Do you agree?
The topic.
Do you agree?
I'll
agree
put it
that,
up on screen again.
Do you agree with Blue Marble Science? Do you agree with Blue Marble Science that gravity is time and
that
space
you
bending?
agreed to. You gave your word. You gave your
asked
word.
You a question.
If your word is useless, then go ahead.
I gave my word.
I said
that
explaining the 9.8 meters per second squared downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude. I then said during our conversation here that I would present mine and then you would present yours. You have an opportunity to present yours, and you are refusing to do that. So
you didn't present what was asked for. Remember, you made a claim on things, so I'm asking you to back up those claims.
Yeah, I already did. I went through the whole presentation.
You didn't back anything
I
up.
went through the presentation, and it seems that you just want to admit that you don't. Okay. No, I didn't say that.
Okay, can you keep quiet for 2 seconds?
Right.
Can you keep quiet for 2 seconds?
There.
I know this is hard.
People can see the agreement that you said.
You claimed gravity is not a force while claiming gravity causes a force by claiming you don't know what gravity is, correct?
Wrong.
So you do know what gravity is?
This is your chance to present.
So you do know what gravity is?
This is your chance to present.
You just told me you do know what gravity is, so
I'm telling you, Flatzoid, that you agreed to a specific thing and you are refusing to do that specific thing.
In that comment, it literally says so gravity then. So the
no, that was yours. I didn't agree to that.
Yes,
the magnitude.
Specifically.
So
yeah, the magnitude.
Are you able to present an explanation for the downward acceleration?
Keep to the topic.
The topic is the magnitude of the downward acceleration. Yes.
Caused by gravity. Congratulations.
No. Are you agreeing that it's gravity causing it? That would be weird. I didn't think you did.
No.
Oh.
No.
So then present.
So misrepresenting me. Literally on screen, I'm going to share again how you
it's already on
specifically gravity.
It's on my screen. People see that you're lying.
Okay.
People see that you're lying.
Friday look. Friday seems okay. What's the topic? Explaining the 9.8 meters per second downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude. Now this is me. So gravity then. Okay, your choice. Hope you will do better than FTP on this, lol. You said specifically.
Yeah, I didn't agree to your change of topic.
Sorry.
I didn't agree to your change of topic. Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
So specifically magnitude based
your
on
followers
gravity,
see that you're lying. I didn't say. I didn't agree that.
Do you know how language? Do you know how communication structure works?
Yeah. I didn't agree to that. So I do understand it.
Sorry, you literally saying specifically magnitude from gravity.
No, all I did was I said specifically magnitude. So
specifically magnitude from gravity.
Seems like you have nothing, Flatzoid.
So you are a coward and running away from the own topic you picked. Well done, mate. You know
the
why you're
topic
doing this?
is the downward acceleration.
You cannot back up. You know why you do this?
The topic is the downward acceleration.
You know
why are you? We know why. I don't need to ask why.
The magnitude. Yeah, the topic says on screen.
I covered the magnitude already. You didn't like it.
Based on gravity.
All right, come on.
So the claim is gravity. So tell me.
So now
what is gravity?
It does sound like you are claiming gravity, actually.
Acceleration.
If we parse that, you are now claiming gravity. If you want to parse it that way.
Misrepresenting me more. So
Spring News 1 says gravity is Flatzoid's claim. Please explain, Flatzoid. Why are you claiming gravity?
Gravity ever.
Oh, right there. It's right there. It's right there on screen. I said the
your
down.
claim.
No, that's your claim. You said so gravity then.
So you don't claim gravity. So you're not claiming
You
gravity.
claimed gravity, Flatzoid.
No,
you
I
did.
didn't.
Yeah, I said
Show me where I
explaining
said
that
gravity.
right there on screen.
Show me.
Yeah,
Show me where I said I claim
It's
gravity.
right there on
Not
screen.
winning.
I said explaining the 9.8.
want-
I'm talking. I got
want
2 words
you-
in. 2 words in, Flatzoid.
I want you.
I got
want you
2
to
words
show
in.
me.
I got 2 words in.
I want you to show me.
It's on screen.
I want you to show me. I want you to show me where I claimed gravity.
Right there on screen.
No.
Right
That's
there.
your claim.
Right. No, you said so
claim.
gravity then. I said
So you're not claiming gravity.
you see it right there.
So you don't claim gravity, McToon.
You did.
No. So you don't
claimed
claim
it.
gravity.
You claimed it.
So
It's on screen.
So you don't claim gravity, McToon. Gravity doesn't exist then. Gravity doesn't cause your magnitude.
All right, I covered it,
Then
but
why
you
we
can't.
at? Then why
But you
we at?
obviously can't
Sorry.
touch it.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. We know that you can't handle it.
Are you throwing away your gravity claim? Yeah.
Flatzoid,
So you
I
agree
already
with
covered
me?
my presentation.
You agree with me?
I already went over
It's
it.
not gravity. You agree with me?
I already went over
my.
my presentation.
Do you agree with me then? It's not gravity. Since you don't want to claim it's gravity,
I
can we all then
already
say,
went
yes,
over
it's
my.
not gravity.
I can't. You
I'm
don't
gonna do
want me
this.
to
I'm
go
gonna
over it
do this.
again.
I'm gonna do this. So you agree with me? It's not gravity then,
No,
because you don't want to
I
take
have.
that claim.
I don't agree with you at all, Flatzoid.
So you do claim it's gravity then.
I'm waiting for you to give your presentation, and you
You
can't.
either claim it's gravity or not. It's simple. Do you claim it's gravity?
Yeah, Flatzoid is terrified. He looks so
claim it's
uncomfortable.
do you claim
Flatzoid
it's
doesn't
gravity?
understand how words work. Flatzoid, what's
Do
your
you
explanation for
claim-
the constant downward
Hey,
acceleration?
retard.
We are all
Do you
waiting.
claim it's gravity?
Flatzoid
Retard,
is
do you
sea
claim it's
lining,
gravity?
sea lining, sea lining, sea
Retarded.
lining.
Are you
His topic
retarded?
is transparent and shows him
Are you
to be devoid of
retarded?
any contribution. I'm reading comments.
Do
Travi Bear.
you
Let's see.
claim gravity, Mac2?
Let's
Because
see.
if you don't claim gravity, then there's no argument. Then I'm more than happy to move on. Do you claim gravity or not?
He is full screen. He's sharing right now.
Do you claim
So-
gravity or not?
All right. Is there a reason why you're not wanting to present your side?
$5 super chat from us says, so downward acceleration has nothing to do with gravity. This guy is a buffoon. Exactly. Thank you very much. Swamp.
Why are you strawmanning me?
That's
weird.
You said now you're not claiming gravity.
I didn't say anything. I'm specifically
So you
not
are
agreeing
claiming
with you
gravity.
at all. I'm specifically
claiming
asking
gravity.
you to present your presentation that you gave your word you would do, and you are now breaking your word.
Are you claiming
GLTF.
gravity? Sorry.
GLTF.
Do you know how-
GLTF.
do you know how sentence
GLTF.
structure?
Gotta
you know
lie to
how-
flurf. Gotta
you
lie to
know how
flurf.
sent-
You're a flurf.
you know how-
You lied. Every time flat earthers talk about flat
you-
earth, they lie. You are proving it right now.
do
I
you know-
appreciate
do you know-
that, Flatzoid.
Do you know how sentence structure works, Mattoon?
You are refusing to talk about flat
Do you
earth
know how
because you can't
I literally
back up
have to
anything.
teach you something. I'm literally have to teach you sentence structure now that you learn in primary school. So when someone asks a question like, so gravity then, and you don't say no.
I
is you
gave you no
affirming-
answer. I gave you
Listen,
no
listen.
answer, Flatzoid.
Wait. Listen
I'm
to
giving
my-
you no
listen.
answer. What you're
Listen,
trying to
I'm-
do
I'm
is
I'm
deflect
trying
from
to
the
help you
topic.
out.
The
I'm trying
topic
to help a
here
retard
is
out. I'm
you
trying to help a retard out,
presenting
yes.
your explanation
Okay.
for the downward acceleration that you are
Okay.
refusing to do.
Dude, you're not gonna get me triggered to leave. I'm just
Flatzoid,
not like that.
you have already
So
waved the white
anyway,
flag over and over.
I have never.
It's been an
once waved the
hour
white
of you
flag.
refusing to back up your side.
All we getting from
It's
you is
obvious that you don't have any backing information.
Are you chicken? Are you
I
chicken?
already
shit to back
covered.
up-
I already covered my
chicken-
presentation.
So-
I already
sorry?
covered it.
Are you chicken
I
shit? to
already
back
covered
up
it,
your claim?
Flatzoid.
Are
I
you
went through it
chicken
again.
shit-
If you want, I'll go through it again.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a claim.
You want me
It's
to go-
Superman that caused it. Superman causes the down acceleration.
Got
There we
it.
go.
Got it.
Great.
Now back it up.
Great. No, you haven't backed yours up yet. I don't need to.
I'll
I've been asking
tell
you
you
to
what.
back yours
Okay.
up.
Certainly. All right.
You
Stop
back yours
sharing.
up first. How's that?
Certainly. All right. Stop sharing. I'll do it.
Great. He's gonna back up, guys.
All right. All right. Here we go. We've got this. All right. I can't hear you. I will mute you on this side here so that you can't interrupt again. So, all right, here we go. Once again, I will begin with my presentation on the magnitude of the downward acceleration. We first begin with the law of gravitational attraction. F is the force due to gravity. Don't put any other words in my mouth. This is what I mean when I say the force due to gravity. Then we've got the gravitational constant. We've got the mass of the Earth, right? These two things have been measured previously. Not the topic of this debate. Won't go over them now, but if you want at some other time, I would be happy to go over them. M2 is the mass of the object on the Earth, and then R is the distance between the centers of mass, which again isn't the topic of this debate, but I'd be glad to go over it some other time. Then we use the second law of motion there, F equals ma. Now, and we use a little bit of algebra. Not going to go over it. I don't know if it would quite work for you, if you would handle it, but we solve for A, give A equals G times M1 over R squared, and this is called typically the gravitational field formula. The other thing we need is the acceleration due to centrifugal acceleration. Again, same R, same radius there. Actually, this one we pull from WGS84. I'll get to that in a minute. And the velocity we also get from WGS84 and the measured rotation of the Earth. So here we go. I'll do another one here. I'll jump down. I already covered Kauai. I will jump down to, here, so people want to see. I wasn't showing. International Falls, Minnesota right there. Again, coordinates 48 and a half degrees north latitude, 93 degrees. West longitude, the elevation 339 meters. Okay, this is how an adult actually does science, right? We take the stuff and we apply it. We test our hypothesis. That's what I'm doing. I'm testing my hypothesis. I'm not too scared to do that. We take the WGS84 distance from the center of the Earth, which is different from the previous one, which is 6,366 kilometers. We take the tangential speed of 1,109.762 kilometers per hour and use the gravitational field formula. That gives us a acceleration due to just gravity of 9.84 meters per second squared down. The centrifugal acceleration there, predicted force, again, using the formula for centrifugal acceleration, we get the predicted upward centrifugal acceleration of 0.0149 meters per second squared. The total predicted downward acceleration, 9.918 meters per second squared. When it was actually measured at that specific location, 9.808 meters per second squared. The difference between them, 0.01097, round up to 98 meters per second squared downward. That is less than 0.1% away from the predicted value, from the hypothesized value. So there you go. Once again, I gave the presentation twice. You should be grateful. Now, your turn to present. I will take out these and let you, no, I'm not going to take them out. I'm going to need to know when you're done. So let me know when you're done.
Okay, McToon.
I'll mute myself. So you can give your presentation.
Sorry, McToon, can you hear me? No, you can't hear me. I need you to actually hear what I'm saying. Can you hear me, McToon? I'm asking you a question. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? I guess not. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here and watch your face.
All right. Well, this is his presentation on the downward acceleration.
So he can't hear me, or he can. He's just a delinquent.
This is what a flat earther does when given the opportunity to explain things.
In the YouTube land, everybody in the YouTube land can. You know what this guy reminds of? You know, Corin. Yeah, I think a Corin is better than this guy. So I'm going to say again, because I think you can hear me, making your claims again is not backing up your claim. Also, WGS84 is not science. Yeah. Also, making a claim of rotational speed is a claim, not a backup of that claim. Making a claim of a radius is a backup, is a claim, not a backup of a claim. You're a bloody moron, mate.
Yeah. He comes in with the insults and the projection.
You know, the sad thing is they think when they send the trolls into my chat, it's somehow trying to make me change anything that's going on here.
Travie Bear, would you like to come on and give the presentation that Flatzoid gave his word that he would? Because he certainly seems too scared to do it. But Travie Bear, if you want
I'm still waiting. Remember, I said I will. I will present once he's backed up his claims. He didn't back up his claims. He just went through his so-called presentation again and just claimed the same claims again. You see, this is his thing. He can't back up his claims because he's a deceiving cunt.
Ooh, the insults.
He's a coward. That's why he's smiling. He loves when I'm saying that. You like that, McToon? Yeah.
All right. Is that the end of your presentation?
Remember, I asked you, can you hear me? And then when I called you an imbecile, which I'm doing now, you didn't make any evidence backups. You just made claims and then reclaimed those claims. So maybe you don't know what a claim is, or what backup means.
I'm just waiting for your presentation, Flatzoid.
Sorry, I literally said to you.
I'll mute myself again. You can give your presentation.
No. Remember when I said to you, mate? Oh, he still doesn't hear me. So we'll sit here again. What time is it?
This is what you get.
Dude, ignore him. Ignore him. Guys, everybody ignore Mr. E-Man. He is trying to get you guys to block him. It's just a tactic. He's trying to... Yeah,
Flatzoid should have one top left.
Yeah, it's called banning, but we're not going to ban him just to keep him here. Because remember, the more he comments, the more it's helping my channel.
Flatzoid promising to present after you in Discord. Oh, thank you for that. Let me grab that.
Remember, straight on screen, I don't need to present anything because the claim was gravity force for the magnitude. So him making the claim, it's him to back it up. And frankly, he has never tried to even converse about this. This isn't even a debate. He's literally come on here to cry like the baby is because he can't back up his claims.
Let's see here. I will glad. All right, this will be good.
Yeah. Thank you, Retro Bull, for your $5 super chat. Really appreciate this. Compared to McToon, STCs was like debating William Lane Craig. I agree. This is the most pathetic debate. This isn't a debate. This is the most pathetic. How can I put it? Showing of a grown person I've ever seen in my life. I've seen children have better debating skills.
The projection is real. All right, let's get this here.
I'll
get the...
Please don't swear, Hozar. That's not welcome here. So I'm just going to hide it. Thank you.
Here
they think they can come here and be as bad as they want to. You know what, Mr. Baldycat?
Have admitted that you do not have the ability to do that.
You first are sensible and try to back up.
Okay, tell you what. I will gladly tell you what. I will do it. And then you do it.
And I keep it unmuted so he can hear me.
Yes, but you first.
Okay.
Because he does have, he thinks I'm stupid that I can't see he's got one earphone in his ear.
All right, Flatzoid, I have a little something here to play for you here.
Yeah.
Now you have admitted that you... All right, Flatzoid, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to play this little thing here for you. Just have a listen.
Great.
You do not have the ability to do that.
You first then. So you first then, because
okay, tell you what.
You do have
I will gladly tell you what. I will do it, and then you do it. Do you agree to that?
Yes, but you first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, it was based on claims. Remember, this was based on claims.
All right. I just showed.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I said it was Superman, correct? I said it was Superman. My presentation is Superman uses kryptonite to pull it down. There we go. There's my presentation.
That's it. That's seriously your explanation.
That's my presentation. Yeah, that's my presentation. Yeah. So now I want you to back up your claims. So are you going to back up your claims first? Then I'll back up my claims. How's that?
That's it then, people. Flatzoid says it's Superman.
You can't back up these claims. So are you going to back up your claims now?
All right.
Are you going to back up your claims now, McToon?
All right. He was told gravity's fake, and Flatzoid fell for it. Says
sorry.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, I asked you what is gravity.
Nano Machines said more like Toddlezoid. Toddlerzoid. There you go. Toddlerzoid. Interesting. Elixir says bring Alan back. He was actually polite and interesting. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Icy Spin says I threw away the popcorn loading the tomato cannon.
This is funny.
All right, well, Flatzoid, it's been great. You've lost. You obviously cannot present any evidence to support your side. I agree with you that you can't. But tell you what, next month will be great. I look forward to it.
There's not record.
There we go. Rachy, I know Rachy said that he can't come in, but if anybody is wants to come on just briefly, Tony, if you're around, so, and he said there's no next time, so I will immediately be removing my my support from him, since he already rejected that he will have a next month. But that was fantastic, wasn't it? The inability to back his position is so obvious, right? And now, of course, he's in a corner. I know going into this that he can't do it, because relative density disequilibrium does not output 9.8 meters per second squared. It doesn't. He has nothing. Oh, I should get it. Yeah, I'll do a refund. So Tony, are you around? If you want, I sent you the first link. That will be invalid now. If you want to come in. There it is. So now the question that he asked, and he wants the further down iteration, is I can cover that. If Tony comes in, he could probably do better than I can, but I'm happy to actually present that. But it's not the topic. That's why I didn't do it, right? He was obviously unwilling to stick to the topic he agreed to. Got a light of flurf. So his sarcastic barman says, can you summarize the conversation you just had in 30 seconds as just finished work? Yes, certainly. He agreed to explain the downward acceleration, specifically the magnitude, and then he refused once we started, and expected me to be the only one to present. I asked him if I would present, then if he would present, and he said yes. So I presented. He constantly interrupted, and then after I said, after my presentation, I finally got through it, and I asked him, "Go ahead, your turn." He refused to present. I put him full screen. I muted myself so that I wouldn't be over talking him, and he absolutely refused to present anything at all supporting why there is, or the explanation for, the downward acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared on flat Earth. So, hello, Tony.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. I do enjoy watching a flat earther run away from their own precious flat Earth.
Well, yeah, he's a textbook example of a profoundly intellectually dishonest interlocutor. He just keeps on asking questions, says that he will explain something, and then absolutely fails to. So I can see, and you're right. I don't think it would have been improved by any form of moderation whatsoever. And he's not interested in actually understanding answers. This is nor does he seem to accept that science is all about getting results that are accurate when compared with observations. Which is what you demonstrated when he said that you didn't validate your argument. You did exactly what is expected. You compared them against direct observational measurements. That's exactly how we validate hypotheses. Do they match the observations or don't they?
Yeah, and if they do, no matter where they came from, the fact that they match is notable and important. And just having some sort of a gotcha doesn't actually do anything. Like, constantly demanding that you do some iteration on the next level down isn't a thing.
No, and it completely ignores the fact that we can measure gravitational acceleration, and we can use it in practical applications. We've been using gravity for more than 100 years to find subsurface mineral deposits reliably and accurately. So the claim that gravity is just a theory, or gravity doesn't exist in the real world, for instance, is patently nonsense. So. Yeah, but I feel like you did he did promise to give an explanatory mechanism. He failed to do that. He just wanted to, it was clear in the chat that you showed on screen that the discussion was the magnitude. He was the only one who mentioned gravity. You didn't. So he was just trying to derail the terms of you had carefully anticipated what he was going to do, and you'd set up the conversation appropriately. Here's the topic. It's a very narrow one. This is what we're going to discuss. And he's the one who tried to bring gravity and the causes of gravity into it because he's not interested in the observational data. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, a moderator, if it had been agreed to from the beginning, would be something that you could do. But to roll in after the fact doesn't really work.
Yeah, no, I understand. Sorry, I was just. It seemed like he was just interrupting you so often and so profoundly that at least that maybe a moderator might have been able to sort of stop him from doing that. But you're right, he hadn't agreed to it, so it would have felt like an ambush.
Yeah. I watched the one from last night with Seek Truth, Speak Truth, and it was the same pattern. You think the Earth is flat. Go ahead, present some evidence supporting it. No, I don't have that claim. Well, but you think the Earth is flat, and to constantly run away from that shows that they don't have anything.
Yeah. This is the main thing. If you don't have a hypothesis, and if you don't have evidence supporting that hypothesis, then you're not doing anything that's even vaguely scientific. You need to be able to explain, and this is why it's so mystifying to me that flat earthers are proudly reliant on the "I'm not making any claims" argument. If you're not making any claims, then you are completely irrelevant to science. You can go and sit in the corner and masturbate while the rest of us get on with doing useful stuff.
I've found that flat earthers even fake it when they're doing that in the corner. Seriously,
okay.
Faking that while doing that is all that they have.
Right. Okay. Oh, I can see that. I can see the argument there, but it's just and I noticed that there are some in the chat saying that you lost the debate, which is kind of endearing in a sense, like anyone cares what they think happened in the debate.
No.
It's kind of sweet that they imagine that the fact that they think they won is in any way relevant.
You win by having evidence supporting flat Earth. That's how you win. And
yeah, exactly.
Every time they don't have evidence for flat Earth. Every time.
Yes. Travi Bear says, "I if I don't know the cause of gravity, then your claim is that doesn't make any sense. That isn't grammatical. Say it loud. If you don't know the cause of gravity, then you claim it is exclusive to one particular shape." I do know the cause of gravity. Gravity is the influence of the curvature of space-time on the motion of matter and massless particles. I also know what causes the curvature of space-time, which is energy distribution. So that none of that is true, but I've never claimed that gravity is what I would use to prove the shape of the Earth. There are many other data sets that I would use to demonstrate the shape of the Earth. I would use seismological data sets, I would use GPS, I would use the universal accuracy of the spherical distance formula. These are the data sets that I would use to demonstrate the geometry of the Earth. But gravity, the existence of gravity is significant is because it answers a lot of fatuous flat Earth objections, like why doesn't gas just float off into space? So I don't consider gravity and the shape of the Earth to be linked topics per se. I mean, I know that there are, you get across a certain threshold and the object will become spheroidal. But to me, they're separate questions with separate evidence bases.
This is a good question. I don't know if it's asked in good faith or not, but it's a valid question. From TCR Griffin 89 says, how does gravity bend light if it is massless, if light is massless?
Yeah, so the light travels through space-time, and so the fact that the space-time is curved, the light is following that curvature. So it's not the influence of the mass on the photons. It's the fact that the photons are traveling through something that is in and of itself curved.
There's a book I just read on the multiple different eclipse trips that people took leading up to the 1919 one eventually, and then it touches on the next 1924. I don't know what was the next one after that, but
well, I think there was a I think there was one in Australia in 2023. I think there was an observation in Australia.
Okay. Anyway, so the book was proving Einstein right, which is a bit of a misnomer, but the guy, the person writing it is an author, not a scientist. The subtitle, The Daring Expeditions That Changed How We Look at the Universe. A really good book. Went over, introduced all of the characters that went to these different eclipse expeditions, and then of course leading up to 1919 when Eddington went to the island of Principe, and Dyson went to they landed in Fortaleza, Brazil, but the town was remember the name of the town? Anyway, it was a town inland from Fortaleza, and they actually set up in the middle of a horse track. There's a horse track, a big oval track, and they set up all their stuff in the grass in the middle there. But Brenda makes a good point. Light has momentum, and the full equation isn't E equals mc squared. The relationship between energy and mass, it's E squared equals mc squared times
E squared equals m naught squared c to the fourth plus p squared. Is that something like that?
From memory. Not quite getting it. That's okay. I wasn't either. Let's see if I can pull it up here. The complete formula of mass energy. There, E squared equals mc squared squared plus PC. I think it's rho though, because it's momentum, right?
P is normally the term for momentum. Rho is for density.
Okay, yep. All right. PC all squared. I can.
Okay, PC all squared. Yeah.
I can put it up on screen for people. So when you're talking about light, of course, photons then do have the right side of the equation. So there you can, that's the energy, right? And also then the Einstein-Planck equation, the relationship between the wavelength and speed of light to energy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
those are other ways that depending on what you're doing, that you do things with getting equivalencies for mass.
All right. Hello, Professor Phil Bell in the chat.
Hello, Bill Bell. Anyway, the book. Let me finish the book. Thoughts on that? There's several different eclipses that they went to and tried to measure the deflection of the light, and they were not successful for different reasons. One of them being World War I breaking out, and because the eclipse was through parts of Russia, and there were Germans involved, and of course, like just not long before the eclipse was happening, Russia actually like came in and said, all right, all you Germans, you're coming with us. They all eventually wound up back home. But, you know, there's Germans in Russia during the outbreak of war between Germany and Russia. It's going to happen. But they also confiscated a bunch of the different telescopes and things and had them for years. After the war was done, they got them back, including the observatory near San Francisco.
Yeah, this is, you know, this sort of, I think that a lot of this is based on ignorance of you know, a lot of the historical developments that have and historical efforts, like, you know, the efforts to measure gravitational time dilation on a near Earth surface. You know, the confirmation of gravitational time dilation in the wavelength of light escaping white dwarfs. You know, all of these predictions that Einstein's theory produced, that have been, you know, that when the technology is improved, we've gone and we've actually validated observationally. And so, you know, the flat earthers are coming from complete ignorance of the effort that's gone into, you know, it's not the case that people made these absurd claims and we just accepted it all. There's been thousands of people going out and validating this continually and replicating previous results.
Amazing. You have a hypothesis, you do something to test it, and it's confirmed. And what does a science denier do? They go in an infinite regression of prove this, 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 of all of the things coming into it and denying every one of them when you get to them.
Yeah, and it's just you know, ultimately you will get to a question that they will get to a question that you don't yet know the answer to. For instance, I think that the fundamental point that that they're trying to get to is, why does energy distribution distort space-time? How does that happen? You know, and we don't actually know that. That is a profound mystery that we're you know, is gravity quantized? Is you know, are there gravitons? You know, there are questions that we don't know the answer to, but to suggest that therefore the Earth could be flat doesn't matter. You know, like, I've used this analogy previously. This is like saying if a genetic test comes back saying that my father, the father who raised me, is not actually my biological parent. It's valid to conclude that therefore I'm a chipmunk. No, you know, I now there is an open question there, but you know, we know that I'm not a chipmunk, or at least I'm pretty certain I'm not a chipmunk. You know, you don't get to go back and say the Earth is flat just because we don't know whether or not gravitons exist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just highlighting their lack of an explanation for their own position. Right? If you don't think gravity is it, then explain it.
Yeah.
Right? What's your
And
hypothesis? And I didn't mention to Flatzoid. I've got $10,000 waiting for the first flat earther to do what I just did. I did it twice. To do what I just did. I mean, he could have made $10,000 today.
Yes, he could have done. If only he'd fleshed out that Superman hypothesis.
Yeah.
Demonic leprechaun. I'm not going to indulge pushatrons and pullatrons. Clive Wells previously discussed that actually Einstein's prediction for the Russia expedition was wrong, but the fact that it was wrong allowed him to refine it for the later.
Oh yes.
For the later expedition. So
he was predicting. Initially, he predicted incorrectly because he was still formulating his general relativity. Because it was 1914, I think, right? Was the Russia one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Prior to him publishing, let's say with that. And he had predicted 0.7 or 0.8 arc seconds of deflection, which matches what Newtonian prediction is for the deflection. After he completed his general relativity, he's like, oh no, it's double that. It's 1.7, 1.6 was the prediction. And then so Dyson, not Eddington had the plates. He did the measurements. They had the plates. They weren't the best, right? Of course, that's the first experiment of anything where you like get the big test. They tend to not be the best because they're always pressing the edges of science and technology at the time. So, but what do people who want to deny that go after? They say, oh, well, there's problems with this, right? Yes. Well, the plates, nobody knows where the plates are anymore. Okay. That doesn't change anything because over 6,000 stars have been measured since then to be deflected.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got sort of so much validation since then. I think the most recent iteration was using strontium clocks with a separation of strontium atomic clocks with a separation of 1 millimeter vertically, and looking at the time dilation between them. The Pound-Rebka experiment, the amount of observational evidence, and as you point out, the first of these tend to be a bit bodgy because you are pushing the edges. You're at the limit of what your instruments can tell you, and then you refine it, and you get steadily more accurate and more reliable results that allow you to answer the question with greater precision. It's an ongoing process, but there's of which they're largely ignorant. Somebody put in an interesting comment about sort of special relativity implying that mass curves space-time. I didn't particularly understand that, and I'm not sure that I'm qualified to.
Doesn't sound like the claims of special relativity.
He was talking about the light cone from a mass, and so
okay.
There's
Cody Payne says, question for Tony. It seems you can get mass energy causes a world line on a ST diagram to curve from special relativity alone. Isn't that the claim effectively for gravity itself?
Not to my understanding, I don't think. But I'm actually not a very accomplished relativist, so I'm not going to claim that my answer is authoritative. Clive Wells is going to have a better understanding. I think I've mentioned this quite a few times that my undergraduate training was actually in mathematics and not in physics. So I tend to come from things that, I didn't receive undergraduate training in relativity. So all of that stuff is stuff that I've had to teach myself. I kind of regret my my younger selves choice not to do physics, but
Well, Cody,
but
I met Cody in July. So
oh really?
yeah,
Okay.
we had a meetup here. So ooh, you are mopped, says correction. Tony is therefore half chipmunk.
Yeah.
To see
Well,
that's more reasonable.
it is indeed more reasonable. Yes. Yep.
I like this. Halsoy says his own chat is begging for his presentation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, sort of this is the thing. You can't. Getting back to this, if you don't have a hypothesis and if you can't test that hypothesis against the observations, you are scientifically completely irrelevant. You can stand here laughing at sort of orthodox scientific explanations and saying that you find them completely implausible, blah 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 blah. But if you can't do better, who cares, right?
Yeah.
You have to do better. It's not sufficient for you simply to find the explanations incredible or implausible.
Yeah, and to really contrast smart things versus unsmart things, we have Travi Bear presenting an unsmart thing. It says time and space, or space and time, are concepts. They can't be manipulated or bent. If I say 1 hour is now 120 minutes, did anything actually change? Has no clue what space-time actually is, of the claims of it, of the application of it. It just shows his ignorance. Travi Bear, you have not won anything by doing that. All you've done is show that you're ignorant. Go educate yourself. There's resources out there for free. You could go do that, but you've chosen not to.
Travi Bear, when I don't understand a topic, I go and read textbooks on it, and I try to my undergraduate training didn't include formal training on climate physics, but I decided that it was important enough. I equipped myself with a bunch of textbooks on climate physics until I understood it reasonably well. I'm trying to do the same with relativity. But just, you are too ignorant to understand just how stupid that question makes you look. And it's, so you don't understand how you've embarrassed yourself. But you have. So maybe go read a book.
Stupid people are too stupid to realize that they're stupid, and Travi Bear just proved that.
Yeah. If you're going to, the idea of science is that you sort of select people who are reasonably intelligent, and you inform them, you educate them, and then you get them doing science full time, 8 hours a day for many years. And if you can come up with some idiotic question within 30 seconds, you can bet that the scientists have already considered it. So Travi Bear asked, then answer the question and help me become less ignorant. We can demonstrate the consequences of space-time curvature. We can take atomic clocks and we can move them to different gravitational potentials and observe the deviation between them. They should be measuring time at the same rate. They were synchronized when they were at the same gravitational level. We can move them apart. In early experiments, this was done with on planes. They put them on planes. Later experiments took them, put them at the top of Tokyo Tower and one at the base of Tokyo Tower. And when you change their gravitational potential, they run at different rates. So time is flowing at different rates at different gravitational potentials. And indeed, this is important in the GPS system, the atomic clocks on the GPS satellites. Because they're in very low gravitation, they're running faster than clocks on Earth. So you need to correct for that. As Max Mack points out, gravitational lensing is an observed phenomena. We can look at star fields and we can see light from distant galaxies and distant stars that has been lensed around intervening material. So the validation, the observational validation we have for this concept is overwhelming. That's why it's the current position of science. I
have a very pertinent observation. Well, finish what you were saying. I'll show it in a second.
Well, but I would suggest that rather than trying to get people to answer your questions on the fly in YouTube chats, Clive Wells brings up LIGO's detection of gravitational waves. That's another good data set. Rather than try shortcuts, you need to read books. You need to, gravitational lensing is not simply refraction. That's nonsense.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to shut up and let you make your point.
Okay. I brought this up on Tuesday, but it totally missed Alan. But this is describing an experiment where they took 3 clocks, synchronized them, and then put them in flight above Chesapeake Bay for 15 hours. So there's a little map of the route that they did in the upper left-hand corner there. And this is the graph that really is telling. So here, over on the right here, right, this graph. The bottom shows the deviation from the starting point of 0. So this is the clock that was going to be on the plane.
Yeah.
And then where that scale angles up, that is the deviation while the clock is on the plane. It is deviating constantly while it's on the plane. And then at the top right of that chart is the deviation of the clock after the flight. You can see it deviated during the flight. So space-time was being tested here. Does the clicking of a clock, the time passing for a clock, change due to velocity and acceleration? Right, that's what this was testing. This also, it tests part of general relativity in addition.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. That is hard numbers right there. That is output from a real experiment that people actually did. And then this is interesting here on the left side. That's not the one. Hold on. There it is. This chart here. So this chart is another one showing the deviation. And you can see there's these additional lines that are a little bit diagonal, and then see right around 30 hours. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then around 37 hours, maybe there's another deviation with this dotted line going up to the right. That's a little bit below the graph. The flight actually flew at different elevations, and they were flying around for 5 hours at each of the 3 elevations so that they could burn the fuel and then climb again. And that slight change in the deviation is due to general relativity, because they were farther away from the surface of the Earth
Yeah.
So the amount of time change varied because of elevation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chart showing right here's the chart on the left side here of the elevation of the flight.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the sort of experimental validation. You can claim that it doesn't happen or that you don't think it does, but when you look with sufficient precision, it does. This is like the flat Earth claim that things in the sky don't change. Things in the sky are always changing. Earth's axis of rotation is always moving. And it's actually moving in a different direction now than it was 30 years ago. And the causes of that are actually scientifically interesting. The Chandler wobble seems to have attenuated and may indeed have ceased. So there are constantly changes to that are only detectable if you do precise observations of the night sky. But flat earthers don't do precise observations of the night sky. So it's how much change was there in how much change in time was there between these clocks? Travi Bear asks. Well,
47 nanoseconds.
What I would and I think for the Tokyo, from memory, the Tokyo Tower was like 1 nanosecond over the course of 40 hours. Was the amount of change, was the measured change in time. And of course, I mentioned the Pound-Rebka experiment, which is the change in wavelength of downward propagating electromagnetic waves. Consistent with the predictions of Einstein from 50 years earlier. Einstein made his predictions about this in 1916, and it wasn't until the mid 1960s that the technology to undertake the Pound-Rebka experiment was available. So these were predictions that were made 50 years before before we were able to observe them. So yeah, it's just you can try quibbling with the science. You can try thinking, here's a clever question that the scientists haven't answered, or a causal mechanism that they haven't considered, but you only think that because you haven't read the papers and you haven't read the literature and you haven't read the textbooks. You seriously, all of this is just making you look less and less honest. You started out sounding ignorant. Now you sound dishonest because you're not interested in the truth. You're not interested in the accuracy of science. And I mean, sort of Blue Marble Science is in the chat, and it's been a while since I've given him props for his Cavendish experiment. Which is a classic example of we manipulate the energy distribution. We change the curvature of space-time, and we can detect that in the motion of the test masses.
Yeah.
It's a perfect demonstration of exactly what's going on.
And what do they do in response to that? They take the middle school definition that some website has for how to do science in a how to do your middle school science project. They take that website and they take the list of steps and say, this is the absolute only way to do science. When scientists are like, well, no, sorry, that's not how we do science. That's too simple. We don't have a formula. It's not a recipe, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know what to do, okay, here's a guide to do your very first one because you're in 7th grade and you don't know what you're doing. Fine. But when you're actually doing real science, it's not, well, if you didn't do step 1, then we can throw it out. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that is, you're trying to get kids to think in logical ways and to sort of understand the basics of inductive reasoning. and it's but it's not a tool. Travi Bear seems unconvinced by a nanosecond over 40 hours because, again, he doesn't understand the precision of our time measuring equipment. We actually have time measuring equipment at the attosecond level. We have cameras that can sample laser beams at 1 trillion frames a second. So we can observe in real time the laser beams propagating around test chambers, and we can image that. So you may not believe that we can detect a nanosecond over 40 hours, but we can, and we can exclude the possibility that it's any sort of noise or that it's any sort of random nonsense. No, it's not another trust.
Let me address that one if I can. All of science is open to be debunked. Everything in science. There's nothing in science that is off limits. So Travi Bear, if you think it's wrong, the door is open to you to show that the people that did the experiment were lying. Because when somebody does lie and publish something, other people are ready. And it's happened where they've gotten in trouble and they've gotten seriously screwed. Some people have lost their livelihoods. Some people have lost their credentials because they intentionally lied in a publication. So that's always open. But the other thing is, maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they had some error in their methodology. Maybe something was wrong. All of those things are possible. Those happen. Everybody else in science, specifically those in that field, are interested in validating or disproving, invalidating their work. And so when somebody does an experiment that's a certain small number of nanoseconds and they publish it and somebody else is like, I don't know if that sounds right. Or that sounds cool. I want to see if I can do it myself. Whatever. And they do it and they're like, wait a second. I didn't have the same result at all. Maybe I made the mistake. Let me check. No, I didn't. I will now publish it, and it is in direct contradiction with what somebody else said. That's how science is done, right? Then that'll get people's attention. Say, wait a second. What's going on here? Let's also myself go and do an experiment. See which one is right.
Yeah. There's a famous example from science history where Louis Pasteur was investigating whether or not there were isomers of lactic acid. So there's two geometry for the atoms of lactic acid that are sort of reflections of one another. And he did this experiment where he crystallized the lactic acid, and he could see that half of the crystals had one polarization and the other half lacked polarization. And he concluded that this was a result of the isomers of lactic acid, and that he had separated them, and they were about half distributed, and nobody else could replicate his results. Nobody. And it turned out, and so there was an investigation, and it turned out that that the experiment could only work at the specific temperature, pressure, and humidity conditions in Paris in spring. And if you didn't do it at that time, then you wouldn't get the result. But it's not the case that scientists just accept that somebody does something and they don't check it, they don't verify it, they don't bother to try and replicate it. It happens all the time. It's the basis of science. And if you don't know any science, if you don't know any science history, it's easy to believe that it could all be faked. This is why I recommend you get a textbook, because in practice it actually can't be faked. We often hear that GPS can be faked. Okay, what's your evidence for that?
Show how it was done.
Show us how it's done. because I've been on GPS surveys to the highlands of New Guinea where there were no cell phone towers. And I used a shortwave radio to communicate with the rest of the observation group. And you would be surprised how different from a GPS antenna a shortwave radio antenna is. But we were making observations all the time. The other site that I went to in New Guinea was on New Britain, I think it was a town of Namatanai. They didn't have any phone communications whatsoever, because locals would keep on stealing the solar panels. So they were completely out of telephone communication. There was no potential for, so the claim that it's cell phone towers and the claim that it's radios, it's not either of those. I can physically demonstrate that that's not what's going on. But we never lost communication with the GPS satellites. So, it's very easy for somebody who doesn't know what's going on to say, oh, well, that's all fake. And then prove it, demonstrate that you can fake that, because I don't see how. I assert that physically that can't be faked, and you have to demonstrate to me that you can do it.
A question for you, and then I'm going to get to some super chats. From Leo the Alchemist says, please ask Tony for a method that I could replicate to show gravity itself besides Cavendish. I'm working on experiments for concepts that flurfs deny. Please.
Okay, well, one of the techniques that you can do is have somebody bury a fire hydrant or some heavy metal object in a field, and then have people go out with gravimeters, high precision gravimeters, and take gravity measurements across the field and see if they can find the metal object. That, for instance, is one of the yeah, Jeff Jones, I am aware that I use the word a lot. I'm in my mid-50s. That isn't going anywhere. And it disappears if I get angry. If I get pissed off, my hesitations disappear. But while I'm being thoughtful, I am constantly trying to anticipate misinterpretations, objections, and I am constantly trying to be mindful that I have to be precise in the way I phrase things. So I apologize. I know that it's painful to listen to, and it makes me come across like a bit of a senile old fogey, but it's just part of who I am, I'm afraid.
All right, I'll give another one here. Here's I put the link in the chat there. Reflections on measurements of the gravitational constant using a beam balance and 13 tons of mercury. Now, these are precise experiments. Flat earthers don't like doing things precisely, so it's a bit of a catch-22. But this particular experiment used 13 tons of mercury. They put them in these chambers here. You see these chambers in the diagram, and they had these masses above and on the left side, above and below where the mercury was. The mercury is that gray, those gray boxes, and then on the right side, the test masses are in the same place, but the mercury has moved up and has moved down. And so they're using then a beam balance to measure the downward acceleration of those test masses and how much it varies when the location of the mercury is changed. And so that's changing, that's moving, manipulating the mass, putting it into different places, manipulating it.
Yep, that's exactly right. So you manipulate the mass. There are variations on experiments. A lot of it, there are a couple of pendulum experiments where they use lead, stone, and plastic as the pendulum weights.
Here's the
There's-
Schehelian
Yep.
right here. So these are all on my webpage, mc2.net/g.
Yep. And the history of the Schehelian experiment. A lot of people sort of aren't aware of the history leading up to that. So for instance, the Bugge made an observation of deflection of the vertical, sort of the discrepancy between his surveyed coordinates and his celestially observed coordinates, and he suggested that it was because of gravitational deflection of his plumb bob by the mountain. Shortly, that was in the 1730s, I think around 1735. Shortly after that, in the surveying of the Mason-Dixon line, they observed systematic errors, systematic discrepancies between their surveyed position and their celestial position. And Cavendish actually suggested that that was a result of gravitational attraction by the Allegheny Mountains, which was what prompted the Schehelian experiment. So they had practical reasons for wanting to quantify how much a mountain could deflect a plumb bob. So they knew there was a problem here, and they wanted to demonstrate it. So, but I think in practical terms, sort of a gravimeter in a field of you want a field that's mostly mud or mostly consistent. So some sort of in a floodplain or on a beach or something like that. But that sort of thing should produce a very clear gravitational signal that you can see. But yeah, the literature is replete. There are dozens and dozens and dozens. The Bren Tower observations spring to mind. So they used gravimeters distributed about a 400-meter tall tower to investigate the inverse square law. That's another one that you can do.
Right. All right. I gotta read some of these. I'm gonna read some of these super chats and then get going. So I'll let you go. Thank you, Tony, for dropping in. It's always good to have a contrast from the complete failure of Flatzoid to your wisdom and knowledge.
Oh, thank you. I did have one minor thing, that experiment you showed with the mercury.
Yeah.
Very similar to borehole gravimeters. In mining applications, they will drill a borehole, and to work out the depth at which the mass concentration is, they'll put a gravimeter down the borehole. And they'll take measurements of gravity with depth, and that will tell them where the depth that they're targeting. That's a very similar concept to
the
and
up or
produces
down
very similar results.
variation.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Tony. We'll talk to you later.
No problem. I'll duck out. Thank you for having me on.
Okay, couple super chats here. Hellsoy said, he already said his own chat is begging for his presentation. Stringer News 1, you can do this right now. Says type 11 in the chat if Flatzoid is a troll. Emma Jint says for 20 Donkey Kong dollars for having to stomach that much stupid. And it's Emma Jint's first super chat. Thank you for that. Sarcastic Barman had previously mentioned a lot of 11s. Where'd they come from? Sarcastic Barman previously asked for summarization. It was telling. He refused to explain the downward acceleration. Magnitude. We know why. He could not output 9.8. If he could, he'd get his $10,000. Ghostly Karma has a super chat. That's an emoji, a cat or fox laughing. Icy Spin says Flatzoid henceforth known as you first. Pistina the First said, taking my sick day to nurse my puppers spider bite, bummed out, anxious, and overwhelmed. Your stream provided the comic relief to get me by. Thank you for your service. Thank you for that. A spider bite on a pupper. That's bad news. Yeah. I hope it's well. Miles Wilson has a $20 super chat. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. Caucasian Sensation is updated his membership, I believe. Second Best Bob says this was a fun one, especially in Flatzoid's chat. Yeah, I mean, how much failure can they do over there? Seriously, they should be saying, hey, you'd think they'd be anxious for somebody as wizened as Flatzoid to inform them, to give them the ammunition they need to support Flat Earth. Say, yes, Flatzoid, definitely, you need to, please, we need you. But no, well, I mean, apparently somewhere, but, you'd expect that they'd be anxious for that. And they would totally say, what the hell are you talking about? Why didn't you present it if they didn't? So, Caucasian Sensation. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Icy Spin says, PhD Tony, looking good, man. Hope you're well. I think he did respond to that. Caucasian Sensation says, why do they call them cowboys? Cows are girls, bulls are boys. It should be cowgirls and bull boys. I think you missed something. I'll draw you a diagram later. You Are Mopped says, someone asked in the comments of our interview if I ever got the name of the AI movie you referenced but couldn't recall the title in the moment. Yeah, all right. So You Are Mopped interviewed me. I was on his channel. It might just be AI. No, that's not it. It's got Scarlett Johansson, I think, is the voice. Let me see if I got that right. I'm looking. Why it's hard. Oh no, there it is. Lucy. It was Lucy. Not Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, Lucy was the movie. Let me double check one more time. Nope, that wasn't it. All right, it wasn't. Sorry, that wasn't it. There it is. I'll double check before I say it. I think I found it. There it is. Here's the description. In the near future, a lonely writer develops an unlikely relationship with an operating system designed to meet his every need. The name of the movie is, hold on, I'll bring it up. I have it on screen. Is Her. Right there. The movie is Her. I don't want to have too much of it on the screen there. It'll, yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Got it. I got it. I nailed it finally. I'm winning in Flatzoid's poll. What's Flatzoid's poll? What's the question he's asking? Okay, Cody Payne had asked that question to Tony about mass energy causes a world line on a ST diagram to curve. Dude, you should come on sometime, Cody, and we should talk about stuff. You Are Mopped says Tony is therefore half chipmunk. So we got a few more. We got Lex Carney is $1.90 or £1.99 with no message. Rogue Zero has a 20 Czech, whatever currency that is. Thank you for that. Lex Carney comes back with a message this time. Says, why does the shape of the Earth even matter? In reality, to most people in our day-to-day life, it does not matter. But since flat earthers claim otherwise, there's a lot of ramifications to their claim. Basically, half of the world has to be lying because so many people would have to be in on it. But what it does is it destroys the minds, or I think they come into flat earth partially destroyed, but it makes it worse, right? Because so many things about flat earth don't work. And so for them to continually hold on to flat earth, they have to constantly change how they think about things. And at the end, There's a lot of things that they're unable to comprehend and unable to deal with, right? When they first start, they watch an Eric Dubay video, they look at the map, they're like, oh, that's the map. But then later they find out that map doesn't work. No part of that map works. And eventually they're like, well, we don't have a map. We don't need a map. Of course you need a map. But what kind of failure in logic brings you a person to the position where they think that they don't need a map, right? Before long range, quick navigation, yeah, you wouldn't need a map. But people fly. If you want to go somewhere, you can jump in a plane, and within 24 hours, you can be almost anywhere in the world. Obviously, that requires a map for it to work. You do need a map. If you don't have a map and somebody else does have a map, then obviously the map that they're using must be more correct than your non-map. So it damages their thought process. We saw it with Flatzoid. He knows that he has no explanation for the downward acceleration. It was clear. The magnitude, right? He knew if he went through a presentation, he never planned on presenting anything. We know that. He couldn't because there is nothing for him to present. He talks about relative density disequilibrium, but it doesn't answer it. How do you get 9.8 meters per second squared out of that? You don't, right? You have to input numbers into it in order to force the outcome. Well, that doesn't work. You can't do that. It's circular. So, Slackback says I should change it. Yep. Flatzoid doesn't about refuses. I think doesn't explain the downward acceleration. It's a great name. It's been changed. So that's why it matters to in some cases. I think it damages people. They are also trying to get into schools. They're trying to get into politics. They're trying to stop science because you have to reject science. So they're trying to stop things. They want to audit NASA. They want to stop NASA. I mean, it's not going to work, but they're trying to. And they might make some inroads in some places. The former gubernatorial candidate for Georgia is a flat earther. She denies it, but we know she is. Matt Long lives in Texas. He ran for office. So they're trying to get politicians in on it, trying to get them in office. So that matters too. So, and yeah, everybody who has it seems that everybody wants to target the kids, and flat earthers want to target the kids. So don't target the kids. Elixir says, since less gravity equals faster time, does that mean in a black hole time might be extremely slow? Yeah, for an outside observer, the people in the neighborhood of a black hole, they age slower. Time ticks slower for them. If you saw the movie, I'm forgetting the name. Somebody might put it in here. Where they went down to a planet that was near a black hole. Time ticks slower for them. They were down there for a couple hours, but the guy was up on there for decades. So, Interstellar. Thank you for that, Clive Wells. Anyway, Caucasian Sensation says, an analogy I use for FLIRF. Since I can put gas in my car, I suddenly know how to design advanced fuel car engines. Witless comes to mind on that. Yes. He, early on, when he was working at an airport, he was in a debate with somebody or talking to somebody, and he's like, I work at an airport, dude, so I know everything there is about planes and how they fly. Basically was what he was saying. Just because he works at an airport. Mac Fraz says, hi, cheers, guys. Hello, Mac Fraz. First super chat from Mac. Thank you for that. Slithery says, not a good stream. I wanted to see Krakatoni. No Krakatoni today. Eclipse Chris says, oh no, I missed the 11 frames. We'll watch the derp in the morning. Did Flatzoid present any evidence? I bet it was the first law of FLIRF. It didn't get to the first law of FLIRF. He did not present evidence. He wanted to change the topic of the debate. Right? The topic was the downward the magnitude of the downward acceleration, specifically 9.8 meters per second squared, specifically the magnitude. And he tried to change it to gravity and demanding that I do all sorts of things, like infinite regression is his typical thing. So, and then when he said that he would present after I did. He did not present. He refused. Mr. E-Man says, where's all the money coming from to pay half the Earth's population to lie? Asking for a friend. Yes. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. Casey Cooper says, Cece says we should shoot the moon. Yeah, definitely shoot the moon. Oh, yeah. Flatzoid did confirm the third law of Flerf. The third law of Flerf is that basically the double standard. They have a super high standard for accepting anything that contradicts their position and zero requirements for anything that confirms their contradiction. Icy Spin covered Dearth and Candace Taylor discussion. That's what I was talking about. Candace Taylor was the one that was the former gubernatorial candidate for Georgia. I don't know if you see me twitch. My ankle. I tweaked my ankle yesterday, and so I'm like crossing my feet here and just moving around because I fidget often, and then I like bend it sideways, and then it hurts like crazy. So, okay. The third law. All right, CC says shoot the moon. Does he really want to shoot bullets at the moon? If gravity doesn't exist, it would work, and if it was close, it'd be easy to hit. So I don't know. So, and the double standard. So yesterday, Flatzoid was talking with Seek Truth, Speak Truth. And he kept bringing up all these different gas laws, Boyle's law, ideal gas law, all these other laws, right? Which are fine. They don't apply to the atmosphere. I won't go over that now, but they don't apply to the atmosphere as a whole. They apply in a specific condition. But he's happy to bring up laws that he's okay with. Well, Boyle's law is a law. The law of gravitation is a law. He will accept Boyle's law without having it be proven, but he demands that the law of gravitation be proven, right? So when talking with Flatzoid, it's easy. Oh, you said Boyle's law. Prove it. You need to prove it. You need to prove, and it's just apply his thing, right? So, well, you need to prove it. Who proved it? Where was it? Show me the experiment. And then, of course, you need to show the video. It's not enough. It's not enough to just to reference something. You have to show the video of them proving it. You need to run them through the middle school version of the scientific method for it. So, just that's all they do is denial. So, how many laws of Flerf are there? There are 3 at the moment, but there's a 4th coming. I'm doing research on the 4th. The first is that all Flerf citations contradict the Flerf claim. So I got that from Witsit, mostly. Like, he's citing different things, and I'm like, well, send it. Actually, it was Nathan Thompson that really did it. Witsit just followed suit. He's making claims about pressure containers and needing a physical container. I'm like, oh, well, send it. And he wouldn't send it. I'm like, I know why he won't send it, because if I read it, it won't match him. So live in the debate, pulled it up. Somebody else helped because I'm in the middle of a debate. Pulled it up, start reading it, doesn't support him. So I start paying attention to all these things. Yep. That never works. Every citation they ever show doesn't work. The second one is that all Flerf challenges are fake. So Dearth's 3 Bitcoin challenge, it's fake. Multiple people have submitted. He doesn't answer. Flat Earth Millionaire has a fake challenge. The old one from what's his name from Zion had a challenge, fake. People put in there, and the reason why it's fake is they don't give rules for what they'll accept. Right? A real challenge will have very clear acceptance criteria. If you don't have clear acceptance criteria, you obviously don't have a challenge. Because if you can just say, no, I don't take it. No, I don't think so. No, if it's very clear, yep, this was met, third party can look at that and say, well, yeah, that totally was met. So that's one. Number 2, they need to have the money in escrow. If it's not in escrow, they don't, I don't care. And Globers have done it too. If the money's not in escrow, don't talk to me about it. You don't have a challenge. You need to write it down so you have a single authoritative place, right? If you just say it over and over again, well, then every time you say it, it's a unique instance of that challenge. Which one are we talking about here? And then very important, you have to have independent judging, right? So other people, you write the objective criteria in a place where you can't edit it. And then the third parties can be brought in either by default or if they don't accept your the initial decision, then you can bring in a third party. And they need to be independent. They can't just be, oh, I have a bunch of flair friends over here. That's not independent. So you need to check your subscription to Flatzoid. He has said he's going to cancel my subscription and not give you moderator status. Is that not illegal? Well, it's not. There's no law, but it definitely violates the terms of Patreon. So, I mean, I could certainly report him to Patreon for not doing what he said he was going to do, and Patreon wouldn't like that. So, we'll see. Yeah, Gleam, Peter G. Gleam is the master of self-debunking. It's funny. I mean, Gleam gives citations to Witsit. And then Witsit doesn't read them and he sends them on. And then I read them like, oh, well, that didn't work for you, Witsit. Anyway, then the third is the double standard. So if you Google Toon's Law Flurf, you can find them. Dave Kircher says, Frank Fidikaka, it's Foon's Day the 13th. Thank you for that. Well, where's Wally says, I hope Flatzoid didn't spank you too hard. No, he didn't. He spanked himself. He didn't have what he agreed to. He knew he wouldn't. He refused to present it, even after he specifically agreed to. So that is. I need to get going. I will cover Icy Spin. I will cover Candace Taylor at some point. I think she deserves being covered. So anyway, I'm going to head out. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, especially Flatzoid, for demonstrating once again that flat earthers have nothing. That's the wrong video. Would have been so much more impressive. Anyway, all right, we'll see you.